Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of June 16th. So we have a pretty busy week happening in the cosmic skies, a lot of shifts, a lot of changes happening. The first one being that we're moving out of air sign Gemini into water sign Cancer. So as we shift from air to water, energy moves down into our hearts. So air energy is very heady. It's very much our minds, our thoughts, our intellect, our ideas. And now that energy shifts into our hearts, into our bellies, into the midsection of our body. That's where water energy tends to kind of circulate. It's our feelings, our gut feelings, our heart feelings. We move into more of a feeling state rather than a mental state. So we tend to feel that shift as we move out of air sign Gemini into water season Cancer. Of course, Cancer also brings the solstice. When the sun reaches that 0 degrees of Cancer, we experience the solstice. So this is a power day for our planet. We talk so much about all the moon and the planets. You can think of this as an important day for our sun. You know, it's like a power day for the energy of our sun. And no matter where in the world you live, we're really able to feel and step into a higher harmony under the solstice. It is said that the energy grid of the planet moves into a higher vibration. And if we are connected and in sync and in tune with the planet, which I believe we are, we too can move into a higher, more aligned, and our own energy grid can move into a more aligned and higher state. So it is a high vibrational time. It is believed that the veil is thin around the solstice and that we can access the subtler frequencies, our sixth and highest senses with more ease. It is a power time as well to set intentions. And then if you're living in the northern hemisphere where you're experiencing the longest day of the year, this is a very external energy and a good time to put yourself out into the world. For those in the southern hemisphere experiencing the shortest day of the year, this is a very internal dreaming state. Time of year where you can kind of go within, retreat, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to what's happening inside. In the northern hemisphere, it's the opposite. It's a more external energy. So again, regardless of where you live, this is a power day for our sun. And if we think of our sun as our battery, as our life force, it's a power day to really connect and tap into our own life source, our own power, regardless of where in the world we live. I know a lot of you live around the equator as well, and I get messages every year. What about if you live on the equator or near the equator and you don't have these seasons? You're still experiencing that high energy grid. That is, we feel that around the world, that shift into a higher frequency. So spending time outside as well is a great way to soak up some of that energy. Spending time in nature can be very healing. So under the solstice, try to spend time in nature as well, because you can really soak up the healing power of Mother Earth at this time. And right after the solstice, we have this powerful Capricorn full moon. It falls on the 21st. This Capricorn full moon arriving right at the solstice time not only heightens the solstice energies, but also heightens the power of this full moon. This full moon is very, very special, not just because it comes at the time of the solstice, which amplifies its energy, but it's also one of two Capricorn full moons. We'll have another Capricorn full moon in July, on July 21st, so pretty much a month away. So whenever we have two full moons in the same sign, it happens, fairly regularly where we get two full moons in the same sign. Whenever we have that, we're only getting part of the story, or there's two parts to the story. So whatever unfolds under this June Capricorn full moon, stuff will likely continue to keep coming up, or more to the picture will be revealed on that July 21st full moon. It's like the two Capricorn full moons will work in tandem. They'll work with each other. It's also interesting that we are getting this full moon right at the beginning of Cancer season, right at that solstice. The solstice happens at 0 degrees of Cancer. This full moon is at 1 degree, so very, very close to that solstice point. A very, very powerful full moon. Powerful in the sense that it's really guiding us to step into alignment. If you think of the energy grid of the planet moving into higher harmony, moving into alignment, this full moon is really supercharging that and really supercharging that point for us. Our own energy grids can move into higher alignment. And how we're being called to do that under the Capricorn full moon is through something very Capricorny, responsibility. Taking responsibility for ourselves, for our lives, for our choices, for where we currently are. This doesn't mean that we are at fault or responsible for the things that happen to us. Sometimes things are not in our control. Sometimes there's fate, there's destiny, there's things that are just out of our control and we don't know why they happen. It's not our fault. But we are responsible for how we deal with things. That is where we're being called. When we step up, when we take that responsibility, we automatically step into a place of acceptance. This is my life. These are the cards I've been dealt. This is what's going on. I don't like it, but I'm going to take responsibility for it. This is my life. And when we do that, we automatically take a step into acceptance. And when we move into acceptance, we shift our vibration into a state of alignment. And I really feel that that is what we are being called to do under this full moon and the solstice. Take responsibility. Also, under a full moon, full moons bring things up and out of us. Their energy draws things out of us, which is why they're always powerful times for releasing. And it's why they're often emotional times, because all this stuff is coming up and out of us, right? Full moons draw away. So whatever emotions, whatever stuff is coming up and out for clearing, that is also something that we need to take responsibility for, to pay attention to. Now, because we have these 2 Capricorn full moons, over the next month, it might not make sense to us right away under the June full moon. We may have to wait until the July full moon to really understand. But if you start thinking about how you can take responsibility for your life, for your emotions, for what you're feeling, and allow that responsibility to take you into a place of acceptance, I think you're really going to start to harness the magic of this full moon. Maybe even think about right now as you're watching this, what is one thing that you can step up and take responsibility for? Or you can even do it a little bit backwards. You can think about what is blocking you from getting where you want to be, and then take that block and take responsibility for it. That's another way you can work with this energy. How can you take responsibility for all the things that you perceive are blocking you, or is wrong, or is not going quite the way you want it? How can you step up and take responsibility for those things? Bring acceptance to it, and then allow that acceptance to move you into alignment. Kind of like a 3-part process: responsibility, acceptance, alignment. And I think that's really what this full moon is guiding us to do. See, I used my Capricorn self to break it down into 3 easy little steps for you, or not so easy, but clear, succinct steps for you. Very Capricorn. I also want to leave you with this as I wrap up the energy for the week. Capricorn is represented by the sea goat, and the sea goat has the ability the sea goat is kind of not like any other creature, right? But as the sea goat learns to accept itself and accept, this is who I am. I'm half goat, I'm half fish. I'm not a sea creature, I'm not a land creature. I'm kind of, I don't belong anywhere. But as the sea goat tries to take responsibility for itself, accepts itself, and it learns how to scale the mountains, and it learns how to swim through the oceans, it finds its gifts. It receives rewards that no other animal can do. It can see the view from the mountains. It can learn what it's like to swim in the seas. And if we take that on a deeper level, if we think of the mountains as, higher vision, our higher mind, our intelligence, and if we think of the waters as our emotional intelligence, that's what really allows the Capricorn sea goat to move into its gifts, into this deeper understanding through acceptance of itself and through taking responsibility for the life, for the body that it's been given. So the sea goat can really be our guide as we move through this week because of this beautiful Capricorn full moon. And of course, we also have the Cancer crab. I don't want to forget that as our other animal guide for the week. Actually, not just for the week, for the weeks ahead as we move into Cancer season. And I also think it's interesting, and I know I said I was going to leave it there, but I have one more thing to share that I just thought of. The Cancer crab, the story behind the Cancer crab is really interesting. We think of Cancer as being a soft and sensitive, gentle, I like to be in my shell, like a crab energy. And it is those things. But there's this other side to Cancer energy as well. That's kind of like the mama bear energy, that really strong, tough, loyal, fierce protector of all that it loves, of itself. It's that energy that I think we forget when we think about Cancer season. So, really, also in another layer of energy, tapping into that nourishment and protection and that love that we can give to ourselves and to others. But I think it's important to give it to ourselves first. So, tapping into that. All right. If you want to learn more about Cancer season, the energies that we're working with Cancer during Cancer season, I have an article for you. Also, I have an article all about the solstice as well, and of course the full moon. So go to foreverconscious.com to check those out. And there is a ritual for you which is designed for the solstice and the Cancer full moon, and the Capricorn full moon, not the Cancer full moon. So if you would like to do that ritual, check it out. There is still time to work with this ritual all through the week. So don't worry if you're watching this video away, the solstice has already happened, although it does happen at the end of the week. But you can do this ritual for a week after the solstice. So take your time with it. Do it when you feel is right. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. I'll see you all next week. I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com. Thank you so much.